End of August, early September, you're going to start getting your seeds from the summer. Now you're coming into your fall flowers and stuff, but things that have been blooming through July, you're going to start getting some seeds from those, like this wild basil. I have another video on collecting those. And today I'm going to show you how to clean a couple of seeds, like wild bergamot, and a few others. You really don't need a whole lot, and I'm going to be showing you the dry processing of seeds. This is, you're going to need paper, a pen, some scissors, and some type of larger container. This is what you're going to be using to contain your seeds and plant material. First thing, you're going to take your piece of paper, fold it in half. Now you can go a step further and fold this in half again, but for the amount of seeds I'm going to be processing, I'm going to use just a half sheet of paper. Cut that right down the middle, just like this. So that's what you got. Set one of them aside, fold this in half. Then you're going to take one side of this. I usually go like this. Just fold that about 1/8 of an inch. And you're going to take the open side that remains. You're going to do the same thing, fold that about 1/8 of an inch. And you're going to go back to the part that you folded first. Fold that again. And one more time on the other folded side. Now that's going to be your packet. Sometimes I'll go even thinner like this in case you mess up your fold. And that creates a little pouch you can put your seeds in. You can tape this. I generally find that you don't need to, but it might be worth it. Usually I only let these last, I don't know, a year or two. I also like to use something like this. This is a seed case. You can pick them up on Amazon for $15, $30, something like that. Depends on how much storage you want. This I just used to kind of have an emergency collection of seeds to take samples, things like that. A lot of the rarer seeds where I don't get a lot, I'll put those in here. Things like that. Just kind of an extra little storage thing. You can keep track of what seeds are looking like over the years, when you collected them. It's the same thing as the pouches, it's just smaller and a little more convenient. Typically when I do my seed collection, I like to take a lot of the chaff and throw it right in the garden. So I'm sitting right by the garden. Chaff is just the term for the excess plant material that might still have some seeds in it, and since I'm mostly processing natives, I'm just going to throw it right into the garden. Not a whole lot of seeds to clean today. So the first one I'm going to be processing is the wild basil that I collected in another video. I have a lot of it. Nice and dry now. It's got this kind of fibery, dusty stuff in there. I'm probably going to have to process it a little bit at a time, just because this isn't a large bucket like I would normally use. I actually don't have any available right now, but I'll get kind of a close-up, show you how I do this. So to start off with this, I just kind of grab a handful, maybe even half of that. I just rub them between my hands, and I can already see a bunch of seeds falling out of there. But basically you're just trying to pulverize them, the actual plant material, rather than the seeds, of course. And I just rub them between my palms like this, and then like this. Pretty much just try and get those to break down into like individual fibers. And you can see my hands get really dusty, and these kind of all clump together like this. You want to try and break those up too, because there is seeds in there that you might miss out on otherwise. I have enough that I'm not going to worry about it too much on this Glycopodium, but yeah, you just kind of do that. Rub them between the hands, break them up. All your seeds fall out. This is what's creating the stuff that I call the chaff, which that relates to like wheat and stuff. Not necessarily this, but same concept really. Break them up and just grab handfuls. It doesn't matter if you grab any of the already broken up material. So now that it's all kind of broken up like that, you can kind of shake it around. This is just gonna kind of separate chaff and the seeds. You can see there's a lot finer material sitting here and a lot bigger material sitting here. It's just about how you move the container, really. Once most of the larger stuff sits at the top, just kind of grab it. Since it's so fibrous, it tends to stick together. And I'll kind of inspect it, see if there's any seeds in my hand. I'm not seeing any. Maybe even break it up a little in another part of my hand. And I don't see any seeds coming out of there. I see a few unbroken fruits, but it doesn't look too bad. So then I'll just take this, and again I'll just throw it right into my garden, like just kind of throw it around. Now you can see that breaks it down into a little bit less material, and I'll shake it again. You can see all this kind of fibrous stuff that tends to clump together. And you just grab another handful, like that. Kind of pick through it, make sure everything looks good and broken up. I see a few more. Just kind of rub it between my hands. Let the finer material fall through the smaller things. And then re-inspect it. And there's a couple seeds that fell out of there. But that's mostly chaff there now. So throw that in the garden. Now you have all this really fine material, and you're starting to see a lot of seeds in there rolling around. Now this is where it gets a little harder. Just kind of tossing it around, making them jump up and down, try and get those plant material to separate, the lighter material to separate from the heavier material, kind of like gold panning, which is actually throwing a lot of the dust out of here. That has a pretty good breeze going right now, and it's looking like a lot of this material is still pretty heavy, which means there might still be seeds in there. So I'll grab this, a lot of that chaff. You see that's mostly clean seeds right there. A little fruit, broke that up, seeds fell out of it, throw that out. So I'll just kind of break these down more, try and get these to turn into almost like dust. Since it's such a small amount, I can see a lot of seeds falling out of here. So that's why you do that like that, because when that heavy material doesn't want to separate, usually means it's because it has a bunch of seeds in it. Inspect it again, a couple of seeds fell out of there. But that's mostly just fibrous material now, chaff material, so that goes into the garden. Now you can see this is almost entirely seeds now. That's a lot of seeds. There's probably, I don't know, 300-400 in there maybe. See, this is a lot of chaff material. We'll check that for seeds. Definitely a lot of seeds in there. Kind of rub that between my palms again. The seeds tend to work out faster than the plant fibers. Yep, so that's clean now. Shake it up again. And you can see there's still some green parts in there, stems and probably immature fruits that are just a little heavier because they took longer to dry. There was a wasp just buzzed by my head. I'll grab that plant stem. Grab that one. When you grab stuff out of here, just kind of roll it between your fingers to let the seeds fall out. And that's pretty much as far as I would usually clean my seeds. I'll pick little stuff out of them, because if you got a little bit of plant material in there, it's not really going to matter when you put it in the soil, which is just going to be organic matter and plant material and stuff like that. So that's clean Clinopodium vulgare seeds. You can try and get it a little cleaner. Maybe use a fan, use the wind, but there's really no need to. So you take that, grab pinches of it, put it right in your thing. Sometimes it can be easier to pour it, other times not so much. This creates a lot of static within the thing, so it can be hard for some of the plants to, or some of the seeds to move out of a container if you're trying to dump it. And just seeds and seeds and seeds. Yep. Just right into your seed pouch. Just like that. Now I'll kind of tap it like this. See if I can. There you go. Now you have your packet of seeds. Usually I would go opposite the way your others are folded. That tells you which one's the top. Fold that twice typically. Then to label them, take your pen. Clinopodium vulgare. Then the date, which it is 8/31/2025. So that's all the Clinopodium vulgare seeds cleaned. Take a look at how many we got in there. Quite a lot. Obviously still some stuff in there, but I'm not worried about it. Goes up to about right here. So that's cool. Now the next one we got is wild bergamot, Monarda fistulosa. This is pretty similar. There's a bit more plant material on these. It's going to be the same thing essentially. I'm going to try and get these leaves and stems off of here first, so that'll only take a second. Really don't have a whole lot to actually clean up here. But these are good and dry. I'll try and fish the leaves out of there. So, same thing. These are a little stiffer. They don't like to break up as well. I'm probably going to put these into a vial. I don't prefer to start wild bergamot from seed, but they grow pretty well. These actually turned my hand green. I don't remember having that problem before, but hey, something new. Yeah, they really don't break up as well. A lot of seeds still stuck in this chaff. Looks pretty suspicious. But let's throw it in the garden. So, literally the exact same thing. Got a pretty decent seed set off of here. A couple stems out. It's looking pretty good. Definitely a lot more dust, or at least it's more visible on these. Now I just gotta grab the vials. In this container, I figured out it's pretty easy. Just dump them in the container into the vial. Tap, 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 tap. See any still in there, just pinch them, put them in. They behave pretty well, I feel like. Definitely would like to figure out a way that I could get a lot more of this chaff off of there, because these seeds are very different looking. But yeah, that's how I do that. And then I just M to abbreviate for Monarda fistulosa. And then I do August 2025. That just tells me when I actually got the seeds off of them. I can compare to previous years because I have previous years in here too. Then we have a little bit of Ticorium canadense. I didn't actually get any seeds off of them yet last year. I'm excited to actually have some. Pull everything off of the stems, throw them in the garden. Now obviously these aren't big substantial seed heads. They're just kind of little individual fruits. Try and not get a lot of leaves in there. But it's going to be exactly the same process. Just make sure you break up all the seeds off the stem. Seeds actually fall out of these really easily. That's why I didn't get any last year. It's just too late for them. Tap them all into one area. Grab as many as you can in a pinch. Break them up. Nice big substantial seeds so you can actually feel them in your hand and you can see them because they're a very different color. They're almost like an orange. Definitely could have had these a little bit drier, would have been nice, but they're breaking up just fine because these seeds separate so incredibly easily. Then this is going to be my clean the chaff out kind of thing now. Mostly dust in there, a couple of other things. I'm going to try and form like a ball like you would with Play-Doh or some clay or something. Just to keep all the chaff in one spot, but let the seeds work their way out of my hands. These are also going to go into a vial. Break it up like that. Nothing in there. Seeds. Grab that chaff. These bounce around a lot. Kind of get them separate doing this. Looks like I got most of them out of there. Not seeing any there. None there. Good. TU canadense. August 2025. Vial in there. And grab out anything left. Oh, missed a few. And I actually have some purple flowering raspberry in this paper towel. It needs done. Hopefully they didn't go too moldy on me. They can be kind of difficult raspberries. Kind of break them up off of this paper towel. Okay. This kind of qualifies as the wet processing type of thing, but I just smeared these on a paper towel. Figured that would be enough because I'm gonna have to break these up off of this paper towel. Looks like I got them all.
Ideally, I would wipe this container out, but I'm not too worried about it. Literally just going to do the exact same thing for these. Break them up. And these need some sort of special treatment to actually get them to grow. I need to research that yet. But at least now I'll have them labeled and everything. And this, I have some more somewhere I'll need to do. I'll just put them in the same container. I don't actually remember the collection date on these, so I'll just say August 2025 on this one. Obviously, I pulled this the wrong way. Didn't collect all these seeds on exactly the same date, but I could have. So, purple, raspberry, August 2025, and that's done.